Hello everyone. So in this session today we are going to learn about arrays. So what do you mean by arrays? First of all, this I'm going to explain you guys. Just like we have done how to create variables, we have done int a. If I write, I'll be getting one box where I can give some value. For example, here I'm giving you an example of integer variable, and then I'll be switching to arrays. So guys, when I'm writing int a, what is the meaning of this thing? We have already done this thing in our last session, in our last classes. That means we have a memory, and in this memory, while you write int a, you will be getting one small box. This is for a, and a is the name of a variable. And while you're writing integer, that means you can give only one number to this a, to this box, whose name is a and whose type is integer. So I'm going to write here simply the name of the variable is a and its type is integer. So guys, when you're creating a variable, what do you mean by variable? First of all, when I'm writing here int a, that means I'm asking some space for a, and I just want to occupy some memory. I want to occupy some space in my memory. So you can see this outer frame red border is my memory, and I'm just taking some space for me so that I can exist in this. So I'm taking this small box, this small area for me. The name of this box is a, and the type of this box is int. And what is the meaning of this box is I just can give some value to this box with the help of this a, and its type is integer. So that means the value which I can feed in this box, the type will be integer only, that will be of number, and that will be a whole number only. But the thing is that how I can talk with this box, how I can give my value to this box. So for all these things, I have given one name to it, that is small a, which is the name of my variable. So here a is my variable, guys, and int is my data type. And what is the meaning of this line? That I occupied one box in a memory. The name of the space is a and the type is int, where I'm going to give some value to this space. So once I give any value to this space, any values, it means my memory, I've already occupied a memory and I assigned one value to this a, and I can do anything with this a because it has some value. Now when I talk about arrays, guys, what is happening in array? In array, what I can do is this small box can be divided into some other parts. For example, you can see this is my variable. As of now, I'm just going to give some name to it. For example, this is my variable and the name is again integer. The name is a only. But what do you mean by this array? It means that this small box, what you can say, this is a and the type is integer. I just want to divide this box further, and I so that I can put some other values also. But the type will be integer only. That is known as array. There is a symbol of array. We need to put this block bracket. I'm going to change our font so that you will be able to understand in a proper way. So let's choose Times New Roman. I can type here. Now this is more clear. So this is like you can create an array, guys. So first of all, I'm just writing here my data type, and then I write here the name of a variable. I put here square brackets. I write here is equal to, and then it is very important to write new. Just like you create an object of any class. While you're creating an object of any class, you always write new. So what is the meaning of this new, guys? Int is my data type. We know it means a whole number, and only number can be given up here. The name of my array is a, and while I'm putting in square brackets, that means I'm talking about array. That means I'm just considering my a as an array where I can give so many values. Is equal to, I always write here new. So while I'm writing here new, that means I'm using a keyword, and I'm requesting my operating system is going to give some space to this a in our memory, some space to this a in our memory. And of which type of space? Definitely array type of space, because while I'm putting block bracket, that means I'm talking about array. Now, after new, I always write here the name of the name of my array, the type of my array, the name of a data type once again, and this time in block bracket, I'm going to write here a size. So guys, the size what I'm giving here, that is 5, and I'm putting here semicolon. So what is the meaning of this line is I have created one array whose name is a and the size is 5. Means my a block, which is of type integer, is going to divide into 5 sub parts, and in each and every part I just can give only numeric value, a whole number I can give. What is the meaning of this is all the meaning of this line. Again, I'm going to explain you guys. So my array name is A, and the sign of array is this block bracket. The type is int. I'm just writing a new because I'm requesting, you know, my operating system to give some memory. I'm occupying some memory for A, which is of type array. You know, this is array of type integer, and the size also I'm writing here 5. So that means I'm just requesting, you know, my operating system to please give some memory in an array of, you know, array, a block whose name will be A, which I'm going to subdivide into 5 different parts, and I'm going to feed some value in it. That is the meaning of this array. So this is my array, guys. And one more thing I would like to tell you is we have two different types of array, 1D array and a 2D array. I'm going to write here. This I'm teaching you 1D array, and after this I'm going to teach you 2D arrays. The first part is that is 1D array. It means here I'm having only one row or a one column. I'm just writing a 1D array, and the second one I'm having is 2D or multiple array also. You can see here D stands for dimensional, so this is 2D array. I'm just going to write here. So 1D array and 2D array, I have taken both of these two things. I'm writing a one dimensional array and I'm writing a two dimensional array. So 1D array means I'm talking either about, you know, either one row or one column. But when I'm talking about 2D array, so here I'm saying about, you know, more than one row, more than one column, means it's a mix of rows and a column. You can see just like a matrix, matrices. If you have seen, so matrices is a great example of this 2D array. And while you're talking about 1D arrays, I'm talking about only row or a column, means one of them I just need to do. But in 2D array, I'm mixing up my rows and the columns, and it will be, you know, it will be like a matrix. Like you have rows, you have a columns, you can design some pattern. If you want, you can have more than one column, more than one row in this array. So right now I'm talking about this 1D array. So guys, here this is my array. This is my 1D array. I have already written a name of my array is A. The size is 5, and I'm just going to make some portions now. I'm just going to divide this thing into 5 more, into 5 subparts. You can see this is my first part. I'm just going to divide it. This is 2 parts I have created. This is 3 I have created. 1, 2, 3. And one more line, and then I'll be done with all my 5 parts. Now you can see this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now guys, one more very important thing what I want to say is we have indexes in array. Indexes means how I can relate, how I can talk to my array whose name is A. So I need to tell to my array that array, this is a 0 position. This is a 0 position, and the name of my array is still A, but A in array A, I'm on 0 position. Now I'm just going to write here the name of my next position, that will be 1. I'm coming to my next line, and again I just come up and I make block brackets here. I come up, I write here 2. I come to my next line, again I come up here and I write here A, and this time I'm writing here 3. I come up to my next line, and once again I'm going to write here A, and in this block bracket I'm writing here 4. So guys, what do you mean by this is I'm having an array whose name is A, and in A I'm on my 0 place. If I'm here, I'm in my array only, I'm on first index position if I'm here. In array A, I'm on my second index position if I'm here. Third index position is this, and fourth index position is this. Now, one more thing what I want to say is you can see here the length of the array is 5. The length of the array is 5. Then why we are starting from 0? So guys, this is only the concept which you need to understand. Like while you're dealing with the array, this you need to understand every time that array starts from 0 only. So if you're taking a size as a 5, you will be going from 0 to 4. If you're taking a 6, you will be going from 0 to 5. So basically whatever the length of the arrays, you will be doing -1 from it. So this you need to understand. For example, if your length of the array is 5, so you will be doing -5. So I'm just going to write here like whatever. For example, this is my array, so I'm just going to write here a dot length. So this is my length. Okay, and I'm just going to write here -1. So it means that, you know, the length is not a function, because I'm not putting parentheses here. It is a kind of property. You can say that it is a property of array which is going to give me the length exactly. I just need to deduct -1 from here. Means I just need to deduct 1 from the complete length. So basically, if I'm taking here 5, guys, I'll just going to start from 0 and I'll be going till 4. If the array size is 6, I'll be starting from 0, will be going till 5. If my array size is 10, I'll be starting from 0, I'll be going till 9. So we just will be going like this. So let's see what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to code, and through the code, I'm going to explain you. I'm going to feed, you know, 5 values, and I'm going to print 5 values, all 5 values to my console. I'm going to give you one last example here. You can see this is my array. And I'm going to give, you know, few values here. You can see this is the value that is 5, which is in my array only A, but on which location, guys, on which index position? Index position is 0. Now any alternate value you can write here. any alternate value, but you can write here only integer and a whole number. Integer means you cannot write here any decimal number. If I'm writing an 8.6, it will not be taken because this is not integer. So this you need to understand, guys. Array means you can take array, like the name of the array is a. You can take you just can divide. If you have a one box, you can divide it into n number of sub boxes. You can feed some value there. You just need to write some length, and you will be taking index position from 0 till length minus 1. But always remember, array is not a mixture of different types of data type. If you're thinking, you just need to take only one data type here, that is integer. Integer is fixed. In entire array, you can put a value, but only of the same type, that is only integer. But the multiple values, definitely whatever you want, that you can feed here. So let's code now. I'm coming back to my Blue.js screen. I'm opening my new classes, and I simply write here a array, and this is my array one. The array. Here you can see this is a very simple example where I'm putting all the values through my programming only. Though we have a lot many different ways, we can also accept the values using a scanner and different other ways. So in this program, you can see the name of my class is array1, and in public static void main, what I'm doing, this is a line where I'm declaring my array, which we have already done. So you can see my type of the array is integer. That is the reason I'm writing here int. The name of my array is arr. I'm putting here block brackets, which is the identity of array is equal to, I'm writing here new. New, that means I'm declaring my array, and I'll be getting the memory of the same type for ARR, which is an array of type integer, and the size is 5. That means we will be going from 0 to 4. You can see that array of index position 0, I'm keeping 5, and array of index position 1, I'm keeping 555, and array of second position, I'm keeping 6, then third position 5, and then fourth position again I'm keeping 5. So if I want, or with all these values, I can do anything, guys. I just can multiple, even I can add, I can print, I can do anything. You can see I'm printing here the array position of index position of 2. It means whatever I'm having in my array on index position 0, that I'll be getting on my screen. So if I want it to get printed 2 times, I'm going to write here 2 times. You can do it according to you, whatever is your requirement. I'm coming to my next line like this, and I can do any calculation. I just can add 2 with this. I can add multiplication. I can multiple also the two numbers. I can add two numbers. I can do anything. You can see here I'm just writing an ARR of 0. It means whatever I'm having on 0th position, I'm just going to multiple it with 2. So that is again possible. I can do this also. And even if I wanted to add 4, so anything can be done, but it is not going to give any impact on array, like whatever value is stored on array 0 position, you can say it is not going to give any impact. You can see here my 0 position value means whatever value I'm having on array 0 position, that will be printed here. Again, it will be printed, but here I'm multiplying it with 2 and then adding 4. So that means I'm just going to fetch the value of ARR 0 first of all, and then I'm multiplying it with 2 and I'm adding it with 4. So whatever value I'm having on my screen, that will be printed. Means whatever value I'm having in my array, that will be printed. So I can do anything. If I want the value to be printed on position 4th, so the 4th position value will be printed. Now guys, one more thing, I'm just going to tell you, if you print the value on 5th position, what you will be getting here. As I've already explained you, the array size is 5, but we always take array from 0 and we go till 4. So in this way, we will be able to complete all 5 positions. But if I'm accessing 5, because already I've accessed 0 to 4, the size is done 5. But when I'm using here 5, I'm going to get one exception here, that is array out of bounds, because definitely I'm going to cross the range of my array. I'm going to run it, and I'm going to show you the output screen now. You can come on the main screen. I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to click here on void main, and then the main screen will be visible to you. You can see this is my main screen, and I'm going to show you that I'm getting here an exception, that is java.lang.array index out of bounds exception, guys, because you know the index 5 is out of bounds for length 5, because we have already done this thing that if the length of the array is 5, we are just able to execute it till 4, because 0 to 4 you have done all 5 sizes. Array always starts from 0. So if you're writing here 5, you will be going 0 to 4. If you're writing here 6, you will be going 0 to 5. And if you're accessing the specific length like 5 you have given and 5 you are accessing, you are going to get this exception. You can see this is exception, this is array out of bounds exception. You can see the output. you will be able to see output for the first four things whatever you have written. But then after this you are accessing array on position 5, then definitely you're going to get the exception message. So this is my code. What I'm going to do in this code now, I'm just going to transform this code, because every time if I'm having the array size of 100, I'm not going to keep all 100 values together. So how I can put my 100 values, I can insert it using loop, which is going to ease my work. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to write here import. Okay, Java is case sensitive. I've already told you, and my caps key was on. So import Java dot util dot scanner, and I'm going to put here semicolon. Now I'm just going to create here an object of scanner, and I'm going to start writing a code of loop. So here I have imported Java from util, and then scanner from util I have imported. You can see I have already explained this thing to you. Java is a main package. Inside Java, I'm having util, and inside util, I'm having a scanner. So first of all, I'm just going to create here an object of a scanner by writing scanner obj is equal to new scanner. I'm opening round brackets, and I'm simply going to come up here and writing here system dot in, putting semicolon here. So this is what I have done. I have created the object of a scanner, and now I'm going to ask from my user who is going to insert the values. So I'm going to just write here system dot out dot println, enter the values for array. So enter the value for array. So my user will get a message, and he will be entering the value for the array. Now the next thing is this: if I want my user to give the value, I'll be using here a loop, so that my loop is going to run from 0 to 4, and all values whatever user is going to give, and each and every value will be fed inside the array. So I'm simply going to write here for coming inside round bracket, and I'm simply writing an int I is equal to 0, as I've already told you that my array will be starting from 0 always, and length minus 1 is the range. So 5 minus 1, that is 4. So I'm just going to write this thing, and I'm going to just increase, and I'm just going to increase the value of I with 1. So I'm just going to write here I is equal to I plus 1 or I plus plus, both is same. We have already discussed this thing. I'm just going to create a space so that I can write a code inside. I'm bringing it to the next line. And now you can see my array is declared here. So I'm just going to cut this line, and I'm going to paste at the very top so that my array will be declared first, and then I'll be using it. So I'm simply coming to my next line, and I've pasted my array. So you can see my array is declared first, and then I have declared my scanner here. Then I asked from my user, and my user is going to give input, and the values will be saved inside the array. So guys, how to save the values inside the array? You can see ARR in place of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going to write is I'm going to write here I, because I know my all values are coming up inside I. So ARR of I means first time I is 0. So automatically it would be ARR 0. Then I will be increased by 1. I will be 1. Then ARR 1. Then ARR 2. Then ARR 3. Then ARR 4. So the values will be going like this. Now I'm using here the obj object of my scanner class, and I'm going to write here next I is capital of int. I'm opening round brackets, and I'll be getting my value in my array. So in this way, my entire array will be filled. Means my array will be working from 0, will be going till 4, and I can see all my array's values. Now this is this is useless because I have already given my value. I've taken from my user and I've given it to my array. My array is filled automatically already. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to print all those values in front of you now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one message to my user that the values of the arrays are, so that my user will be able to see the values. Means some message I'm just going to give, because I'm going to take the value first from my user into the array, and then I'm going to print all the values in front of my user. So array, and that's it. Array value my user will be able to see. Now guys, like in this line, I'm just accepting the values from my user into my array. Now I just want to do reverse, means I'm going to give back. I'm just going to print the values to the console back now. So I'm just going to copy this thing. I'm coming inside here, and here I'm going to print. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to print here any message. If you want, you can print here, but I'm not going to print any message direct. I'm just going to write here the name of my array ARR. I'm putting here block brackets and I'm writing inside here. I'm just writing here I. So what is going to happen now? The I value will be 0 first. So ARR of 0, then ARR of 1, then ARR of 2, then 3, then 4. So all the values will be printed to my screen now, back to back, and you will be able to see the result. So what I'm going to do is here I'm just writing a java.util.scanner, and I'm writing a class arr1. Array1 means, that means now public static void main I have just declared. You can see I have just declared my array. So first line I'm just declaring my array, that where the name of the array is arr, and here I'm just going to give here a symbol, so that with the help of this symbol you will be able to understand, okay, array is an array, a block bracket, a single block bracket, and then you will be writing a new, then end, then the size of the array we have written. A scanner object we have already created. We have taken all the values from user with the help of this loop, and then we have printed back to the console with the help of this loop. So guys, what you need to do is, though you can do both these two things in one loop only, you are taking a value and printing, taking a value and printing. But in my program, what I have done, I've taken all values together, and then I'm going to print all values together. So in my first loop, I'm taking value into the array. In my second loop, I'm printing back to the console with the help of system.println. I've compiled, I'm just coming back to my dashboard, and I'm going to right click here and clicking on void main. Now you will be able to know, like, enter the value for array. Please ignore this last output, enter the value for array. So it is just asking me the value. So I'm just going to give 2, 3, 6, and 4. So all 4 values I have given, means the fifth one. So this is 2 on my array 0 position, 3 is on 1, 6 is on 2, and 5 is on 3, and 9 is on 4th. So 0 to 4 all positions I have given, and you can see that my array is printed automatically, because in my next loop I have written system.out.println, and I have printed my entire array together. So this is the way, guys, you can deal with the array, with the 1D array. Even if you want to find out a square, then that also can be done. What you can do, simply ARR1, if you want to find out the square, means whatever values you have given to ARR1 means array, whatever value you have given, you just need to find out the square. So it's very simple. You just need to write here multiple ARR, means the concepts should be clear. Once the concepts are clear to you, you will be able to write a code. So I'm simply going to click on compile, and I'm coming back to my dashboard. And here I'm going to run it once again. So I'm just going to run, and whatever values you are going to give now, you will be able to see it's square. Now I'm writing here 2, 3, 5, and 4, and 1. So you can see, guys, the square, like 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 5 square is 25. 4 square is 16, and 1 square is 1. So anything is possible, like whatever you want to do with this code, or if you want to find out cube, so you can multiply once again. If you want to find out a power, math.power function also can be used, as I'm going to introduce in my next session. So guys, anything can be done in this way. You can add, you can multiply. If you want to add 2 in this, then the 2 can be added. Means it is up to you, like what kind of requirement you have, what kind of thing you want to code here, that thing can be done very easily. So what I have done, I have just explained entirely, like everything, like how we can give values with the help of loop inside the array, and how you can print the values from the array, how you can find a square, how you can do different mathematical calculations. So now the next step is, I'm going to explain you array 2. That is 2D array. Now, what do you mean by 2D array? First of all, I'm going to explain you a concept. 2D array means, guys, a combination of rows as well as column. So you can see here, I'm just going to design here array. The size is 2 cross 2, means 2 rows and 2 columns. So 0, 1 and 0, 1. So I'm just going to design here a matrix. You can see it's a simple matrix. This is 2D array, guys. This is 2D array, means where you have a rows also as well as you have a column also. In 1D, if you remember, we were just writing either row or column. That's it. But in 2D array, we can have row as well as column. So I'm just going to edit my same code and I'm just going to copy it. I'm coming out and I'm creating a new class so that in description I can share it with you. I'm coming up here, I'm clicking here on new class. And the name this time is array2 because this is 2D array. I've got my 2D array. I'm just going to paste my last code and I'm going to edit it. Just like always what we do, I'm just going to select entire thing. I'm going to paste my last code and I'm going to edit it. So I come back here. First of all, I'm just going to change the name because we have already done this thing. Otherwise, this code will compile, but you won't be able to see its output. So array2 I have written. Now what I need to do, guys, if you are using 2D array, you just need to put one more block bracket. And in one more block bracket, like right side also you need to do, and you need to write the size. So what size I'm taking here? I'm taking here 2 cross 2 size. So it means 2 rows and 2 columns. The rest of the things will remain same. But one more thing is what you need to do is if you're following 2 cross 2, then 2 nested loops are required. So I'm just going to delete entire thing so that the code will be easy for you to understand. So I'm simply going to delete the entire code, whatever is there. And I'm going to explain you how you can deal with 2D array using loop. So guys, I've already created here a scanner object and the value for array is already written. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write here for, and this I is working for row. So I simply write here a 0 and I is less than is equal to, and I'm having 2. That means I'm just going to work till 1. That is 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm simply going to write here 1 and I'm writing here I plus plus. That is same equivalent to I is equal to I plus 1. I'm just creating a space here for my outer loop. I'm coming inside and I'm going to write here my inner loop. I'm writing here for, I'm simply coming up here, writing here in J, this time starting from 0, but my J is going to work just like I, so J will be going till 1 and J plus plus. Why we are doing like this? Because if you know a simple maths like in determinants, what we do, like how matrix position will be there. This is my 0 row and this is my first column. So I'm just going to write here with the help of red color so that you will be able to know what I'm saying here. So guys, this is my 0 row and this is my first column. Similarly, this side again, I'm going to write, this is my 0 column and this is my first column. So this is my 0 column. You can see this is my 0 column and this is my first column. So if I ask you for the values, like what is the what will be the index position for 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this I'm going to explain you. The index position for 2 would be I and J, guys. So we have already done this thing, like I is row and J is column. So what will be the index position for 2? So 2 index position will be 0 0. Why 0 0? Because I is 0 and J is also 0 here. And if I ask you the index position for 3, it would be 0 and 1 because 0 is row and column is 1. So I'm just going to write here the same thing, 0 1. And when you come to the next line, you can again see here that is first row but 0 column, so it would be 1 0. And next, if you see, this is again, this is first row and first column. So the next side again would be 1. 1 1. So what is the logic, guys, behind this? You can see the logic is first time you're following I and I is 0 but J is working from 0 to 1, right? Next time I is 1 but J is again working from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. So that means your J should work like J should start from 0 and it should end at 1. So we are just going in a proper way. You can see the first time the value of I is 0 only. When you go inside inner loop, J is 0 and next time J is 1. Once your inner loop is done, you will go back and the value of I will be increased and it would be 1. Again, you come here in the inner loop with the value of I, that is 1. So 1 and 0 and then 1 and 1. The combination will be like this and you will be able to do it. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm creating my innermost loop so that I can take the values from a user. And with the help of a scanner, I'm going to do this thing. I'm simply writing here ARR and I'm writing here I, and here I'm writing J. IJ I've already written. I'm simply using obj and dot next. I'm writing here next int and I'm putting here parenthesis. So that means I'm just going to give my all values. I'm just going to run this inner loop and outer loop is going to work together, and my row columns will be filled up with the help of my user. And I'm going to print the same. I'm going to print same back to the console. Whatever I'm accepting from user, I'm going to print it. So I simply copy it because I'm going to do it with the help of loop only, and I'm going to paste it. But this time, guys, we just need to print here system.out.println because I'm going to print something. So I simply write here system.out.print only. I'm not going to add here ln because I need to maintain my row, and then I'll be changing my line so that my next row will be printed here. And I'm just going to delete entire thing, putting semicolon. Now when you come out from inner loop, guys, you need to change the line so that you will be able to see your entire, entire output in form of matrix. So I simply go and copy this thing. I come out from here, I paste, and I just write here ln so that my line will be changed. All right, I'm not going to do anything here. Simply I'm going to add here ln so that my line will be changed. That means when my inner loop is working, my 2 and 3 will be printed in the same line. Once I printed my one line, I'm going to change and I'm going to print my second line. And this is only the reason I'm just adding here ln. I'm going to run it. This is control K. I'm going to copy it. It is done. I'm just coming out to my dashboard. I'm going to run from there. And here you can see this is my dashboard. I'm clicking on void main, and here you can see like it is asking me enter the value for array. So I'm just going to give some values. I have given all my values, and you can see it is printed in a matrix, so in form of matrix 2, 3, 5, 6. If you want one space like in between, that also can be done. It is again very simple. You just go back to array 2 and you need to add some space in between where you're printing, the place where you're printing. There you just need to give one space. So in double inverted comma, you need to give one space. That's it. Now when you go back to your main screen, you will be able to see, and just right click on void main, and please, and you can see the output. Now I'm just going to give some input. I'm going to write here some values. I'm just going to cancel this thing because so that my screen will be visible to me. Okay. So the first value what I have given, and second and third. So I've given all my values. You can see 5, 5, 6, 9, all four values I have given. So you can see this thing that I have given here 5, 5, 6, 10, and 5, 5, 6, 10 is visible, and even the space is also visible to me. So it looks like a matrix, guys. Now, a part of this, if you want to add the matrix values or whatever you want to do, that can be done in 1D array also, guys. If you are adding, like if you want to add all elements or whatever you want to do, that can be done. Now it's depend on your requirement, like what kind of operations you need to do. Like you can see, I'm just doing a sum also. I've initialized this sum, this variable with 0, and I'm going to add whatever I'm getting here in array. I'm going to add all the values. So this is again possible. What you can do is you just can write sum is equal to sum plus arr inside I, and then you can write here j. Just need to come inside. You can write here j, come out, put semicolon here. Now you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just going to add, guys, whatever I'm getting, I'm going to add it. So at the end, if I want to print the answer also can be printed. I've just copied this thing. So at the end means while you're coming out from all the loops, then you can print the sum also if you want. So I'm just going to print here sum of all the elements. I just can write here sum of array elements. So sum of array elements, I'm just going to come here. I'm going to put here plus, and I'm writing here sum, and this is all done. Control K, I have clicked. I'm just coming back to my dashboard, and here I'm going to right click array 2, and now you will be able to see the addition also, guys. See, I'm just writing 1, 2, 1 and 2. That's it. So you can see, the my 1, 2 means 1, 2, whatever value I've given, that is printed also, and I can see the addition also, like 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6. So you can see the answer here. So guys, basically what we have done in this session today, we have done 1D array, how to give the values, how to access the value. In 2D array also we have done columns and rows, how to access together, how to print in form of matrices, how to do simple calculations on array, addition, subtraction, multiplication. All these things can be done. So you just need a practice, and I'm going to share both my programs in a description today, and you need to practice so that you will be able to understand my next session. So see me in my next session. Thank you so much.